The point of this video is to tell you, do not call the listing agent when you're trying to buy a house. Now, you're probably not going to believe me or understand me without some explanation. So I'm going to tell you some stories to try to explain why this is so important. I'm Conrad Walton. I'm a real estate agent with Realty One Group, Mountain Desert. My aunt was a missionary nurse at a leprosy hospital in India for 40 years. My dad worked for the airline, so I got to fly for free to go visit her. She lived in the middle of rural India, surrounded by farmland, 20 minutes outside of the local town. And this is a picture of me in 1969 with some of the interns at the hospital. Every Thursday, everyone would go into town to do their weekly shopping at the open-air bazaar. Imagine freshly butchered goat meat laying out in the open on a table, tables piled high with mangoes, bags of flour, and live chickens, dogs walking around looking for scraps. If you wanted something, you asked how much, and then you offered less. This was known as haggling, and it was expected. It was normal. It was what everybody did. But I was very white, and everybody else was very brown. When I tried to haggle, they laughed at me and stuck to their full price. I mean, they knew I had money. I was an American, so I just couldn't get a deal. And then when I walked away and my local friend haggled for the exact same thing that I wanted, they got it for half of what I could get it for. Now, fast forward to today in America, and we live with barcode scanners, UPC codes, and SKU numbers. When you drive through a fast food place and order a double cheeseburger for $5, you wouldn't tell the person behind the speaker, yeah, I'll give you $4.50 for that. No, you don't walk into Walmart and you go through the self-checkout lane and haggle with the barcode scanner. It doesn't work that way. We're programmed to pay what we're told to pay, and we do what we're told. I mean, it's the way it is. There are a few places where you can fight that. I bought a new truck 2 years ago, and in preparation, I researched. I studied. I knew exactly which truck I wanted, exactly which features I wanted. I mean, I could bore you with the technical details because I'm a truck guy and I care really deeply about these things, but I'll move on. So when the time came, there were only 2 trucks for sale in the entire state of Arizona that matched my requirements. That's how picky I was. I knew what my number was that I was going to spend, and I promised myself I wasn't going to spend a dime more. I drove 2 hours to the dealer where I had to deal with the salesman. His job was to manipulate me and extract as much money from me as possible. But I'm a salesman too. I know all the tricks. So we talked, we haggled, I threatened to walk out. That's always a primary move right there. But in the end, the salesman won. I wanted the truck so much that I paid $2,000 over my number. I failed as a salesman that day, but man, do I love that truck. Now imagine you're buying a house, and let me lay out the rules of the game here. The listing agent's first loyalty is to the seller, with the goal of extracting as much money from you as possible. I mean, he's the car salesman, same role, same goal. And if you call them directly and ask them to represent you too, then they will represent both you and the seller. Legally, that's called limited representation, and man, is it really limited. It's a legal requirement that no agent can act against the interests of the person that they represent. And if they represent the buyer and the seller, they can't really do much. They can't act against your interests, but they can't act for your interests either, because doing that goes against the seller's interests. They can't give you any advice about the price. You have to haggle on your own. They can't tell you to offer less. They can't tell you to ask for more money in lieu of repairs after the inspection. They can't protect you at all. I mean, you're naked and afraid, standing in the middle of an open field with nobody to protect you. What you need is a local friend, somebody to haggle for you. Now, one objection I hear is that it'll cost more to have your own buyer's agent. And I've been told, well, you just go straight to the listing agent and you don't have to pay any buyer's commission. Well, that's not how it works. You're going to pay a buyer's agent commission one way or another. You might pay it by paying it directly to the buyer's agent. Most likely, you'll pay it by paying a higher price for the house, and then the seller pays the buyer's agent. But no agent works for free. And if you have the listing agent represent you, you're just going to pay one agent both commissions for doing half the work. And if you're going to pay it anyway, you might as well get your own agent. Now, let me repeat this. It does not cost you any more to have your own buyer's agent. When I was in grade school, I was bullied. Kids made fun of me, they laughed at me, and I got beat up. I couldn't haggle with the bullies. What I really wanted back then was some fifth grader to come along and protect me. Somebody bigger and stronger than I was. Somebody who could haggle with the bullies. What I wanted was the toughest guy on the playground to protect me. And if you pick the right buyer's agent, that's what you'll get, your own bully protection. If you call the listing agent directly, you're paying too much for goat meat that has flies landing on it. If you call the listing agent directly, you're walking into a car dealership telling them, take all my money. If you call the listing agent directly, you're walking out onto that playground just asking to get beat up. You need the toughest guy on the playground to protect you. I'm Conrad Walton at PrescottRealEstate.com with Realty One Group Mountain Desert. Call me, text me, or email me. Contact info is right there.